just by way of kind of background to pick up, because we're in the middle of a chapter here, we're not going to read all of this chapter, but in the first couple of verses of 2 Corinthians chapter 4, along about verse 8, he really begins to talk about these difficulties. And he says that we are troubled on every side. We are perplexed, but not in despair. We're persecuted, but we're not forsaken. We're cast down, but not destroyed. Always bearing about in the body the dying of the Lord Jesus, that the life also of Jesus might be made manifest in our bodies. And so that's not the passage we're going to be in for tonight's text, but I want to go back to those thoughts. He says we are troubled. We looked at those. It's been, like I said, probably a month and a half or so. But a lot of these terms he's using really could be a picture of like a wrestling match. Being pressed is the idea. Being troubled, it's this being squeezed, this being perplexed. It's being confused about what's going on, about not understanding what God is doing or what God is allowing, being persecuted, and then being cast down. That's the idea of being pinned like a wrestler, being down for the count. And so he talks about all these difficulties, and I think certainly we can all relate. Who hasn't felt the pressure of stress and anxiety of just dealing with life, dealing with sick loved ones, dealing with wayward children? We've all been through what Paul is talking about. We've all been confused. We've all wondered why God is not doing things in this particular manner, why God is not answering prayers in the way that we would like him to. And often we don't get an answer to those things as to the why or why not. We've all experienced persecution, and we certainly have all felt like just staying in bed and covering our head and not getting up again. We've all been there. But Paul's hope is this: despite all of that, he says we're not crushed, and we're not hopeless, and we're not abandoned, and we certainly aren't finished. And so that's the encouragement Paul is trying to give to the church at Corinth, and therefore to us tonight.